This video explains what happens when your Greek sentence includes a type of word called an enclitic. You can follow along in Athenaze Chapter 1 Beta in the grammar section. An enclitic literally means to lean upon. An enclitic is a word that leans upon the word before it in a sentence, which will steal the accent of the enclitic if possible, i.e., the accent of an enclitic will jump to the previous word. For example, estine is an enclitic. Its accent will jump to the previous word if possible. If the word anthropos is followed by the word estine, the accent will jump back from estine onto anthropos. The previous word may end up with two accents, as we have here with anthropos, and the enclitic may be left with no accent at all. Note that estine is always an enclitic. Enclitic words are designated as such in your vocabulary lists. This slide explains the rules for enclitics. If the word before the enclitic has an acute accent on the third to last syllable, that word will pick up another acute accent on its last syllable. The enclitic will have no accent. You can see this in our previous example with anthropos plus estine, which becomes anthropos estine. The second rule is, if the word before the enclitic has an acute accent on the second to last syllable, that word does not change at all, and the enclitic will retain its accent, as in ponos plus estine, which remains ponos estine. The third rule is if the word before the enclitic has an acute accent on the last syllable, nothing changes with that word, but the enclitic loses its accent entirely. As in the example, auturgos plus estine, combined in one sentence in that order becomes auturgos estine, i.e. the accent of estine disappears. Here, the acute from estine has actually joined up with the acute of the last syllable of auturgos, but to us it looks like just one acute accent on auturgos and the one on estine has disappeared. Note that the acute accent of auturgos does not become a grave, even though it is followed immediately by another word with no intervening punctuation, because that word is an enclitic. Enclitics create exceptions to previously learned accent rules. The last rule is if the word before the enclitic has a circumflex on the second to last syllable, then it picks up an acute accent on its last syllable in addition to its circumflex. The enclitic will have no accent. For example, when we take oikos and add estine, together it becomes oikos estine. The principle that unifies these four rules is the unwillingness of Greek language to have two high-pitched sounds in a row. In other words, your pitch must come down again before it can go up again. For example, with the first rule, your pitch is up for on, then comes down for throw, but then you are able to go up again for pos, and then estine has no accent. In the second rule, your pitch is up for po, you come down for nos, and then estine retains its original accent, estine. In the third rule, your pitch is down for ow, stays down for tour, goes up for gos, and then estin has lost its accent to gos. Estin, autur gos estin. With the last rule, oi kos estin. Your pitch for oi starts down, goes up, and comes back down again. So then you are able to go up again for kos, and then estin has lost its accent, and both of those are down. Estin. Oi kos estin. The end.